name is Kayla Darby. I will be teaching at Ardmore Elementary School, and I will be a third grade reading teacher this year. Woo!
Hi, I'm Catherine Heck. I am originally from West Virginia. Been in Maryland for about 4 years now. I'll be teaching at Greenbelt Middle School, 7th grade accelerated mathematics.
Prince George's County Public Schools have a lot of benefits for teachers and also students, and the county is just great. And I interned at PG County, so I'm like, why not?
So you've had some experiences that really will set you up well for what's about to happen.
Sure, yeah. So for the past 3 years, I've been working with small homeschool instruction groups where we've been doing in-person, a combination of in-person and distance, and I think that the experience through that will translate well with the distance learning program at Prince George's.
Welcome to PEEP 2020. The Professional Educator Induction Program here in Prince George's County Public Schools. The next 3 days will be packed full of information to prepare you for your amazing journey as an educator in this county. Today, you will engage in self-paced learning modules. You will need to complete the new employee orientation video, as well as the T3 technology training titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. You can access these videos from the Crowd Compass website. Tuesday, we are excited about our live sessions. You will engage in sessions covering classroom management, the framework for teaching, evaluation literacy, essentials for distance learning, and learn about the content you will be teaching. Wednesday, we will continue with more live sessions, digging deeper into content sessions, special education for general education teachers, PGCEA, and exploring more PGCPS platforms. All 3 days will give you powerful information, so get ready, tune in, take notes, and engage in preparation and learning. Looking for information? It's all here in the Crowd Compass website. If you are looking for courses, you can find them here under the All Sessions tab. Monday, August 17th, you will need to find the new employee orientation and the Understanding the PGCPS Platform modules here. The First Safe Schools module will take approximately 35 minutes. To access the new employee orientation from the Crowd Compass website, select All Sessions. Click on the session titled New Employee Orientation. Enter your username, which is your very important employee identification number, which we commonly refer to as your EIN. Then you're ready. Next, you will need to take the 90-minute technology training module titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. Again, to find this session from the Crowd Compass website, select All Sessions. Click on the session titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. Enter your username, which is that very important EIN or Employee Identification Number. Grab a pen and paper or something to take notes with, and voila! Happy learning! Please be advised, the new employee orientation and Understanding the PGCPS platforms are mandatory to be completed today, Monday, August 17th. Time has been allotted to complete this expectation, so be diligent to make sure you complete these mandatory trainings. Also, you will notice there are more mandatory Safe School modules. Feel free to begin these sessions. Take note of the required due dates for each module, make a plan, and set yourself up to accomplish this expectation. At this time, we would like to express our gratitude and appreciation to our many sponsors who help make this professional educator induction program, PEAP 2020, a success. Thank you, American College of Education, Care First, PGCPS Benefit Services, Verizon, Walden University, and Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. We welcome you to explore the new Educator Package brought to you by Educational System Federal Credit Union with special offers designed to help you get started in your new career. Visit them at esfcu.org/PGCPS20 to learn more. On behalf of Prince George's County Public Schools and the Office of Professional Learning and Leadership, we'd like to thank you for joining us at the Professional Educator Induction Program, PEAP 2020. Remember to engage in learning for the next 3 days, and we wish you all an amazing, impactful, and successful school year.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2020 Professional Educators Induction Program, better known as PEAP. And if you haven't figured it out yet, you will by the conclusion of your in-service week that we are a school system of acronyms. Welcome to your new professional family. I'm excited to have you join us. I am the CEO, Dr. Monica Goldson, and have been here for 29 years as an educator. I started out in the classroom just like you are today and have worked my way up to this position. I'm extremely honored to represent you along with 19,999 other employees in PGCPS. Of course, you are joining us at a historic time, not only in Prince George's County, but across the nation. Of course, we're in the midst of a global pandemic, but we're also embarking on a new journey of distance learning. And though we offer distance learning in the spring, what we're offering to our families now is a more robust experience, one that will make them feel as if they're in the classroom. Of course, I'm doing this videotape from a classroom because I'm sure that as you train to be an educator, you were looking forward to having your own classroom and decorating it and greeting students. It's what we've been trained to do. You'll have that opportunity to greet them. It'll just be through a screen. Know that we're here to support you through this distance learning journey. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to meet you virtually in your classrooms. I'm only an email away because I do check my own emails, and you might get a response from me after I jump into your classroom to see you doing amazing things with your students. If you're new and joining us for the first time as an educator, you're on the precipice of something amazing because you have an opportunity to lead our district in a new way. And so I thank you for embarking this with us. There'll be some challenges, I promise you, but you won't be by yourself. We'll work through them together, and I promise you that you're going to be in great hands. Welcome again to Prince George's County Public Schools. Have an amazing 2020-2021 school year.
And what a remarkable educator. What a wonderful motivator Dr. Golson is, and I can attest to what she just said. If you sent her an email, she will reply. And I hope you were listening carefully. She used a word that she uses a lot. She's used it recently, and that is robust. She is here, and we are all in this challenging year, and no one works harder than she does. And you know, we didn't have to find a prophet from afar. We have this homegrown talent here, and we are so privileged to have Dr. Golson with us, and I'm enthused every time I hear her. Let me echo her welcome. Welcome to Prince George's County Public Schools and to this wonderful PEEP program. I'm going to be with you for the next 45 minutes. My name is Dave Zarin, and I was humbled last week when I met a lot of you at Duval High School. Even behind my mask, you came up and said, "Aren't you the host of It's Academic?" I am indeed, and I do that, plus our own Science Bowl show here in the school system, which is kind of Jeopardy for kids. And I was a teacher. I've been an instructional supervisor. I've also been a candidate for the Maryland Space Program, the Teacher in Space back in 1986, and a TV weatherman for 25 years. I tell you all those things not to pat myself on the back, but simply to tell you, by coming here to work, you do not know the opportunities that may avail themselves to you. So you are in the right place. Let's get started here. This is so different from what PEEP is normally. Normally, there are 800 of you out there. We would be in an auditorium probably at Wise High School or Flowers High School. We would have marching bands and cheerleaders and lots of videos, and we would just have a grand time. Well, of course, this year, because of the pandemic, everything is different. I'm standing here in Upper Marlboro in the boardroom, and I have some wonderful people in front of me here from the Office of Professional Learning and Leadership, and even though they are masked, I am not, but we're keeping our proper distance here. And, you know, you're watching on your laptops, and we hope you chat with us this afternoon. But it will go without saying that there will be far fewer peeps at this PEEP than we've ever had before. You know, we're going to hear in just a few moments from some other luminaries here in the school system. Certainly our wonderful CEO. You're going to hear from our chairman of the board here, people from some of the various departments, people that all have great pride in the school system, many of whom have spent their entire careers here in Prince George's County, and they all want nothing more than for you to succeed. So let's get started here. You know, our good friend, Dr. Alvin Thornton, has been with us for many years. He took a gap. He was once chair of the board. He left. But you know, all of us are replaceable, but not Alvin Thornton. No, we needed to get him out of retirement. He came back, and he is chairing our board once again. He is a noted educator. He is a college professor. He is a wonderful author. He has so much to say. No one has more pride in this school system than Dr. Alvin Thornton. Let's listen to him.
In this virtual environment. So I'm deeply honored to be with you. Let me first of all thank Dr. Golson, Dr. Murphy, Dr. Holden, Dave, and others for organizing this event to welcome our new educators to Prince George's County, the county that I'd like to think is the most important county in America, and with the most important public school system in America. I'm one who believes, as I'm sure you do, that public education is the greatest institution that our nation has created. And therefore, those who teach in public education are the essential energy and fuel of our democracy. So I approach my responsibilities with that basic premise. The Board of Education is the policy-making and oversight body of our public school system. The board is composed of 14 members. 9 of the members of the board are elected directly by the people, 4 members are appointed, and 1 is a student member elected by the students. And I want to recognize my colleagues, Mr. Edward Burrows, who's our board vice chair, Ms. Sandra Shepard, Ms. Rahila Ahmed, Mr. K. Alexander Wallace, Ms. Belinda Queen, Ms. Sonia Williams, Mr. Curtis Valentine, Mr. Brian Swan, Mr. David Murray, Mr. Joshua Thomas, Mr. Paul Montero, and Ms. Nina Jackson, who is our student member. The board is organized around 3 major committees that do the work of the Board of Education: our Academic Achievement Committee, our Governance and Policy Committee, and our Operations, Budget, and Fiscal Affairs Committee. And we have great support from our board staff that many of you may have an opportunity to interact with, led by Ms. Suzanne King, Esquire, who's our board executive director. This is the 4th time, as Dave was referencing, that I've chaired the Board of Education. I chaired the board throughout the 90s, and it was a love affair then. My children were enrolled in the public school system. During that time, as now, we faced many challenges, and we worked together, as we will do now, with your having joined us to overcome those challenges and took advantage of those opportunities to move our school system forward. As I'm indicating, I am a proud product of public education. My 2 daughters graduated from the Central High School. Some of you may be teaching at Central High Schools. One is a lawyer and one is an engineer. And they are examples of what public education in Prince George's County does. I'm glad now that 3 of my 4 grandchildren are currently enrolled in the public schools of Prince George's County. I reference that because I have complete confidence and faith in our public school system and those who teach our children. And I welcome you to that community of scholars. The Board of Education, as you will know and have confidence, is working hard to demonstrate the performance expectations that we expect of our leader, Dr. Golson, and you, our new dedicated teachers. We want you to be dedicated, we want you to be collegial, transparent, we want you to engage in ethical behavior, and we want you most importantly to join us in being student-centered in terms of your performance. This school system that you are now joining is one of the most diverse school systems in the nation. It is composed of African American and Black students, Latina students, Asian students, white students, students from the Caribbean. It is, in fact, an exemplar community for America. You are coming to us in a very unusual environment, as I'm sure you know. You're coming to us when our state and county are dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic environment. One of the things that you will be able to see is how this community, this school system has responded to the COVID-19 environment. Notwithstanding that virus and the impact it had on our school system, last year we produced 8,000 exemplar graduates and sent them forward to the nation. I want to thank the teachers that you're now joining for producing those graduates for us. They are the products of teachers. They're the products of you. In producing the excellence that you see and you'll see in our school system, it is the greatest indication that Black lives matter. When I think of John Lewis, having recently passed, never forget that he's a product of teachers. Sharecropper's son, who went and was mentored by teachers. Elijah Cummings, who just passed, a product of teachers. He always referenced the role of teachers in developing him as a member of Congress. And he always said one thing that guides us in Prince George's County. And he said that all children should be a product of not who they are, to whom they're born, or where their parents can afford to live. This is our motto, my motto, and this is what guides us. And we want you to join us in being committed to that. This school year, as I said, will require that we respond in a special way to our students. We want to make sure that our students who face special needs, our school students who have special needs in this environment are responded to by us. I invite you to join us in that obligation. Always know that your Board of Education is working on your behalf. We are upgrading board policies to make sure that you have an environment in which to work. We are addressing physical challenges to try to get as much resource support for you as possible. We worked hard to get what you'll come to know as the blueprint for Maryland's future and build to learn to make sure that you have modern resources to guide and support your work. I realize that Dr. Golson, our CEO, will speak following me. Let me acknowledge the principled and dedicated and transparent leadership that she and her team are providing for our school system and our teachers. Dr. Golson is a lifelong Prince Georgian, a product of our school system, and a daughter of Howard University and Florida A&M, 2 HBCUs. I want to thank her and her administrative team for the excellent leadership that they are providing. I do wish you well, and I wish you a successful orientation experience and a 2020-21 school year. I want to thank all of you for what you will do on behalf of the children of Prince George's County.
And I told Dr. Thornton when he was here recording that he is iconic. There's no one like him in the school system here. He has the institutional memory of Prince George's schools. And I wanted to thank him especially for that tutorial on what the board is like. The board sits behind me here. And I remember when I first started here many years ago, the school board was a remote body, far removed from anything I was going to do in the classroom. Well, that is not the truth. A lot of these board members here, all of these board members are actively engaged in education. They're going to be reaching out to you. So they too are a resource for you. And if you email them, I guarantee you're going to hear from them as well. You know, a lot of you were here last week for boot camp. And the latter part of last week, you went over to Duval and Gwynn Park High Schools to collect your PGCA goodie bags and your laptops, all in readiness for August the 31st, 2 weeks from today, the first day of school. But I would venture to say that today is a historic day for each of you. This is your first day here in Prince George's County, and you are here to start a new career, many of you. Some of you are here to continue a career in a new venue. You'll always remember today, because this is where it all started. You know, we hope that you find this to be a comfortable niche, that you fit in here and you feel like you belong. And you'll be with us for many, many years to come to enlighten and to guide our children. But you're making history too, as Dr. Thornton and Dr. Golson mentioned, because you are doing something that's never been done in this county before. You're going to be teaching en masse at a distance. I imagine very few of you, certainly I didn't, when I thought about being a teacher, wow, I'm going to go in and have an empty classroom with no students. The only time I'm ever going to see them is on a laptop. No one imagines this. This is going to be an extraordinary challenge for us, as we're out there trying to figure all this out. As someone said, we'll be flying the plane while we're still building it. And you're going to be out there in your living room or in your empty classroom. And even though this is a big place, this is a huge county. We have 206 schools, over 136,000 students. The numbers boggle the mind. You'll still feel isolated many times. Well, I want you to take heart, because the very people that put this program together, from the Office of Professional Learning and Leadership, they want to make sure that you know that you are not anonymous. You are not just somebody out there who's going to be forgotten. They are here to help you all along the way. They're the ones who are always smiling. I think they go to bed, I remember our comedian said once, with a hanger in their mouth, because they have a smile on all the time. They go out of their way to help you. They want to find you a place to live. They want to make sure you're settled. They want to make sure that you are as comfortable as can be. And I know they are here, some of them, and they can't hear you, but why don't let's just give them a clap. Let's give them a round of applause, because they have done such heroic and wonderful work, and you could not be successful here were they not here with us. They're a phone call, a text, or an email away, and this is not it. It's like when PEEP is over, it's not like, see you later, have a good year. PEEP Part 2 will be coming along as well, and they will be there, and they will help you along the way. And also, very important, they'll let you connect with each other. I remember my first year, I would not have survived. There were 20 new teachers of us at Mary Bethune Junior High. We stuck together, and we supported and sustained each other. So I hope you find some soulmates and some people among the new teachers that will help you along the way. Speaking of new teachers, last week I met some, and I'm sure they're very typical of all of you out there. Andrea Crowder. Andrea, nice to see you. Andrea, she's teaching at Gwynn Park High School. She has dreamt of coming here since 2005. That's 15 years ago. Finally, this year, things came together. The dream came true. I have to tell you, she is a bit lost. She's down here. She's never been to Washington before. She still does not have a place to live unless something happened over the weekend. And she is commuting from Philadelphia. She's driving back and forth every day. You talk about dedication. Let's help Andrea get a place to live. Another teacher I met, Jazz Sullivan, from Puerto Rico originally, has been living in Hampton Roads, Virginia. She just graduated from Old Dominion. She's going to be teaching art at Largo High School. And when I talked to her, she said, Dave, I have to tell you, I'm a little overwhelmed by all this, and I'm more than a little homesick. I'm sure you empathize with her. Probably a lot of feeling that way. She said, if only I had my little dog with me, it would make it a little easier. She said, at least I've found some Hispanic restaurants. That's my heritage, and that's helping me feel a bit more at home. There is some culture shock. Everybody goes through it. You will start to adapt and feel like you're at home here in no time. And then there is another teacher I met, Verlita Claxton. She's not from some faraway place. She is through and through Prince George's. Born here, went to Linden Hill Elementary School, Walker Hill Middle, graduated from Suitland High School, has a master's degree, and now is coming back to teach. She is coming back to teach here at Suitland High School. She's going to be teaching math. That's her favorite subject. So she's paying it back. She said, I want to do for young people today what teachers did for me. What a great testimonial to this school system. You know, for all of you out there, all 800 of you, let me assure you that you are in the right place. You know, there are few better places to teach in America than right here in Prince George's County. As Dr. Thornton said, this is America in miniature. This is what we look like. You're going to make a difference here for the whole country by doing what you do here in Prince George's County. So from this day forward, you are now part of Prince George's family. Just like Joe Biden last week said to Kamala Harris, you are now part of the Biden family. You now are part of the Prince George's family. And to make you feel even more at home, I want to introduce you to two luminaries here in the school system, the Chief of the Human Resources Office and the Director of the Office of Professional Learning and Leadership. First of all, we're going to meet Dr. Christy Murphy, who for the past 20 years taught, administrated in Arlington County, Virginia, just across the river. But she has a Prince George's pedigree, and she has come back home. And Dr. Christy Murphy, wonderful former principal at Surrattsville High School, terrific person. This is her first year on the job, and boy, she has whipped everyone into shape around here. It's a wonderful PEEP program, even though we're not in a big auditorium. And she, like a lot of you, came here from elsewhere. So let's meet the two Christys, the Christys squared. Let's start with Dr. Christy Murphy.
Thank you, Dave, and welcome to Prince George's County Public Schools. I am so honored and humbled today to come before you just to say thank you. You had a lot of choices in choosing your next career path and choosing the school system that you would dedicate your career to, but you decided to choose Prince George's County Public Schools, and for that we are so thankful. We promise you that you will have an experience like no other. We are a family here in Prince George's County Public Schools, and we promise to give you our very best because you will be teaching our very best. We have amazing students, we have awesome schools, we have so many opportunities for you, and we hope that you would take advantage of every single thing that we have to offer. During this time, we know that we would love to be with you in person, but we hope that you would enjoy your first education experience in Prince George's County virtually and see all that we have for you. This is the same thing that you will be providing to your students. We've gone from working in a classroom with a blackboard to now teaching online. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. Teaching our children how to be global citizens. And you've been chosen for this time and this opportunity. I have to share a little story with you. I'm born and raised in Prince George's County and graduated from Friendly High School. And I've been teaching for 20 years. I've been in Arlington, Virginia, and then I decided that I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more and be in the community that gave so much more back to me. And I decided about 2 to 3 years ago to come back to Prince George's County Public Schools, and it's been the best decision I have ever made. This is home, and we promise you that you too, by the end of the year, will be saying the same thing. This is home. Again, thank you so much for choosing Prince George's County Public Schools. We wish you the very best and know that we are here for you every single step of the way. Enjoy your career with Prince George's County Public Schools.
Hello, and welcome to Prince George's County Public Schools. We are so excited for you to be here. Many years ago, back in 1998, I was new to this area, and we sat at Roosevelt High School, surrounded by thousands of educators, wondering, what's next? Well, Office of Professional Learning and Leadership is going to help you with that. Over the next 3 days, you will get support in curriculum and instruction and virtual learning, but that doesn't stop there. Are you seeking certification? We have CPD courses that you can take. We have university partnerships we are involved with so that you can take those courses needed. We have practice support as well, and then get tuition reimbursement for what you need. Perhaps you'd like to be an administrator. Well, we have leadership programs in our office that can support you with that. We welcome you. We hope you will have a great year. It's going to be new for all of us, but we are all excited, and our children are excited to see you. Thank you for joining Prince George's County Public Schools.
So, are you feeling it yet? I hope you are. all of these wonderful people here, they're not here because they don't enjoy their work. They are committed. They are proud of Prince George's County, and I hope you develop that same kind of pride. And as Christy Holden was saying, there are so many different opportunities here. There are career ladders out there, so stay with us and build up a reputation and build up your skills. And we're getting a few chats. Thank you for chatting with us. We're hearing from Catherine. Catherine is like Cher. She's not giving her last name. Catherine is from Kansas. We've got Jacqueline Fagora out there from Puerto Rico. Welcome. Welcome, Jacqueline. And hailing from North Carolina, Tarsha Davis is with us. So keep chatting. Tell us where you're from, where you're going to be teaching as we spend some time here today in Upper Marlboro at PEEP. You know, you're sitting out there and, you know, if you're not listening intently, I understand. You've got a list of to-dos in your head. You've got a long list of questions, and you're thinking, oh, my gosh, how am I going to get all this done? But thank you for your attentiveness. You know, you're probably wondering, as you're sitting out there nervous and excited, maybe a little sick to your stomach, yeah, kind of lost, probably wondering, am I doing the right thing? Will the kids like me? Huge question, especially if I can't see them in person. You might be asking yourself, is it always this suffocatingly hot and humid here in Prince George's County in the summer? Unfortunately, yes. And a question that comes to mind, too, as you're trying to navigate your way around this very big county, do the cars ever actually move on the Baltimore-Washington Parkway? Not really. Try to find an alternative route if you can. If you're new to the area, which many of you are, there are a lot of odd-looking names out there on signs and on schools. Like B-O-W-I-E. Is that Bowie or Bowie? No, it's pronounced Bowie. So say Bowie and people will know you're from around here. Mount, R-A-I-N-I-E-R. Well, if you're in Washington State, it's pronounced Mount Rainier. If you're in Monaco, the royal family, they are the Rainiers. But here we say Mount Rainier. How about M-A-T-T-A-P-O-N-I? It's an elementary school. Looks like it's Mattapony. Sounds like a pet you want to keep. It's actually a Native American name. It is pronounced Mattaponi. And last year, a young lady came up to me at PEEP and she said, Mr. Zarin, I'm going to be teaching at Sweetland Elementary School. I said, isn't that nice? We don't have a Sweetland Elementary School. S-U-I-T-L-A-N-D is Suitland, not Sweetland, even though I like Sweetland a little better. And we're here in Upper Marlboro, the county seat. You'll get to know that very well. If you say you're going to Marlboro, you're going to Upper Marlboro. There's also a Lower Marlboro. In my 46 years here, I have never known anyone who has been to Lower Marlboro. It's out there somewhere on the map. You know, all of you are from so many different places. Normally during PEEP, we do a shout out. We say, who's here from New York? Who's here from California? And people yell and scream for their native places. So let's, even though we can't hear you, how many of you out there are from Pennsylvania? Huh? You're close. Maybe you came down here from the Keystone State. Anybody here from Ohio? Not too far away. We have an Ohioan right here in the audience today. How many of you are here from the Free State? I did that last year, and it was crickets. It was embarrassing because the audience did not know that the Free State is a nickname for Maryland. Yeah, there are a lot of Marylanders out there. And how many of you are from Hawaii? No, I didn't think so. We do have, I looked at the questionnaires you filled out for me, and I talked to a psychologist last week. His name is Dr. Ned Kimball. He's a doctor. He's going to be a school psychologist at the Early Childhood Center at Chapel Forge. And he did his pre-doctoral work on the island of Hawaii, in the Hawaiian Islands. And I said, Ned, we very much appreciate that you're here. I said, but you left Kauai for Prince George's County? I said, this is not Waikiki. There's no beach here. So we especially appreciate, Ned, that you have joined us here. You know, it's no surprise at all that all of you came here. This is a magnet, Prince George's County. For one of the great things about living in the United States is that you can go places where you've never been, where you know no one. And some of you are like that. You know no one here. But through hard work and reaching out to your neighbors, you can make a name for yourself and become an integral part of the community. You can become a legend here in no time. It just takes a little work. I met a teacher at Duval, Hasina Thomas. Hi, Hasina. Boy, did I like talking to you. She is so full of energy. She's going to be teaching kindergarten at Yorktown Elementary School. Hasina has moved with her husband, who works for Amazon. First of all, they were in Illinois. She taught in Illinois, then Kansas, then South Carolina, then New Jersey, and now here. She said to me, Dave, she said, I've learned to travel lightly and adapt quickly. And I asked her, I said, what about teaching online here? What about distance learning? She said, listen, she said, I've learned to adapt quickly and bring it on. So I hope you have that same attitude. But if you're having some qualms, some trepidation about going into that classroom, I want you now to listen to two people who I hope will make you feel just a little bit better. They make me feel better. I just like listening to them. First is Mary Piccarelli, who is this year's Teacher of the Year from Prince George's County. This is her 8th year, and she, in addition to a lot of accolades, won herself some new wheels. I'll let her tell you all about them. Also, you're going to meet the president of PGCEA, the Prince George's County Educators Association, Teresa Dudley, who is a middle school teacher in the last year of her stewardship of PGCEA. She'll likely be returning to the classroom, and you will not meet anyone who is more vibrant and more enthused about teaching and teachers and making teachers get all they need than Teresa Dudley. So let's listen first to Mary and then to Teresa.
Thank you, Dave. You're so right. I did win a car for being Prince George's County Teacher of the Year. As you know, my passion did start in the basement, as your passion may have started in your basement or somewhere else. I am so excited to welcome all of you all to Prince George's County. As you know, education has changed this year big time. I'm here to share a couple things that will help you be successful this school year. The big things that you should look out for are 3 things. First, build that relationship with your students. It is so important to get to know the students that are in your classroom. That way you can meet their goals, meet their needs, and allow them to be successful. The second thing is to build relationships with your colleagues. Your colleagues will be there to help you with resources, new strategies, and new tips for your learners. Finally, build those connections with those parents. Parents will be there to support you with their students and help meet their child's needs. With distance learning, there may be some bumps, and that is okay. It's important that you have patience. I know for myself, last year, I had trouble with getting some of my students connected. It was important for me to reach out to every child until I was able to get them connected. Whether I reached out on Class Dojo, Google Classroom, or SchoolMax, I wanted to make sure that each child was connected so that they would have a successful school year. Teachers, you can do this. With patience, with perseverance, you can make this a successful school year.
Hi, thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate the opportunity to be here to welcome all of our new educators to the Professional Employee Induction Program. My name is Teresa Mitchell Dudley, and for the past 5 years, I've had the honor of serving as the president of PGCEA. It has been a great journey and an honor for me. PGCEA has a mission, and our mission is to advocate for you and for the children that we serve and their families. Not only will we advocate for you when there are workplace-related issues, we're going to teach you how to advocate for yourself. Because I can give a man a fish, but if I teach him how to fish, or a woman how to fish, they'll be able to fish for themselves. So that you'll be able to advocate for yourself and for the children that you serve. Public education is going through a crisis right now. The COVID pandemic is affecting all of us. And my little pause there wasn't just because I had a frog in my throat. We have actually had members pass away from COVID. And I want to make sure that you understand that your safety is my #1 concern. This year, we advocated for us to continue distance learning so that you had the option of whether you want to teach in your classroom or do you want to teach remotely from home. We will work with the school system to monitor the reopening plan because we want to see the schools that we want to see when the schools reopen. Because let's face it, some of our issues are great. Overcrowded classrooms, technology, restorative justice not being trained, all of our teachers not being trained in restorative practices. We all must work together to make sure that we reopen the schools that we want to see. So who am I? I'm a middle school social studies and science teacher that teaches middle school. And I love what I do. I love being a teacher. So I just want to give you a few pearls so that you know what to expect your first year. Number one, expect to cry. I cried my first year. I was in the stairwell and Rita Maravich came up to me and she said, "Stop crying. You're going to be just fine." I said, "But the kids are so far behind and I'm not going to be able to catch up." She said, "Teach them how to act first. Teach them how to be good students, and then you will be able to teach." Best advice that I have received from someone. So my role in Prince George's County is not strictly as an educator. I also had 2 children that matriculated through Prince George's County Public Schools. My daughter is a Foreign Service officer for the State Department, and my son is an accomplished artist. You will be doing great work. The students that you teach, some of them will get it because of you, and some of them will get it in spite of you. The ones that get it because of you is the reason why we are here. Because we are public school educators. We don't get to choose who comes in and out of the classroom. We have to teach every child. And every child has the capacity and the ability to learn. And you must keep that in your heart. Because there's going to be that child that's going to challenge you. That's going to make you reach for resources on how to handle behavior. There's going to be that child that's going to challenge you because maybe they're not comprehending what it is that you're trying to teach. But sometimes it's going to get real dark and you're going to feel like, "Oh my God, I can't make it through all of this." What I want to tell you is that there are people to help you. There are professionals at Prince George's County Educators Association that can help you if you're having an issue. Maybe you don't know who to contact in the benefits office. Maybe you don't know who to contact in payroll. We can help you with that, and we can teach you about your profession. We offer professional development opportunities here at PGCEA on the evaluations process, on your observations, how to get through the challenges of FFT. We work collaboratively with the TPE office to make sure you have everything you need. So, in closing, I just want to say this. When I started teaching, I lost my first child. I was heartbroken. Then I had 2 children, and I prayed to God that I could have more, but unfortunately the doctors told me not to have any more children. So I prayed, and then I became a teacher. And every year I had more children to love and more children to love. This year, I'm the president of PGCEA. I have 130,000 children to love. So be careful what you ask for. God just might give it to you. So as you move forward this year, pray for what you need because it's going to be a lot your first year in the classroom. And if you need me, you can reach me at president@pgcea.org. And anytime you need some help, do not suffer in silence. This is a hard profession. We are here for you, and I love you, and good luck your first year in Prince George's County.
And thank you, Teresa. You can really, she has such passion. She is real. And you can just see that she cares very much about what happens to you this coming year. So do take advantage of her. As she said, this is her last term in the presidency of PGCEA. And Mary Piccarilli, that new car that she has, it says on the side, it's emblazoned Teacher of the Year. So keep your eye out as you drive around Prince George's County as she advertises for us and shows her pride in what she does. And while Teresa was talking, we had a few more chats. Thank you for chatting with us. Continue to do that in the next couple of minutes. Sheena is out there. Sheena is from Fort Lauderdale, and she moved to Maryland 4 years ago. And someone by the name of Naren, Narin. Sounds like Zarin, very close to mine. And Narin says, Dave, I am from Hawaii. So we welcome you. So you and Ned are both here from those beautiful isles. As I was listening to Mary and she was talking about distance learning, I was thinking how very similar it is to being on television. And as I told you at the very top here, I was a television weatherman for many years, and I'm a game show host. And a couple of things, if as a teacher, I was a middle school teacher, if you can keep the attention of 35 students every day, television is nothing. Because it is a much shorter period of time, and the audience out there, they're watching, you can't see them. That is something of a drawback, but you're always out there thinking you don't want them to turn that channel. And that's the way you are in your classroom. You want to come in with a sense of urgency, with enough in your planning book and enough in your back pocket that no matter what happens, they can't not do what you want. So when I was on television, I would come out there, I couldn't wait to share the sense of urgency. I can't wait to tell you this, a little bit about the weather, a little bit about the history in this area, enlighten them a little bit, give them all a little something, because if they change the channel, there you go. Your ratings are important on TV. In the classroom, you don't have to worry about ratings. You've got a captive audience out there. But also, as a good teacher, you know this already. Especially true if you're going to have a lot of kids on the screen, if you're doing a Zoom meeting. Dignify all their errors. The worst thing, of course, as you know, is to embarrass a student in front of his or her peers. And we do that all the time on It's Academic and on Science Bowl. No matter what that answer is, if they tell you the woman who sewed the first American flag was Betty White, you don't laugh at them. You tell them, yeah, that's a good joke. She probably would appreciate hearing that. Something else I want to tell you before we leave you today. If you're new here, and so many of you are, if you really want to get to know your new home, this is your new home, which is so rich in history, here's my advice to you. Look at the list of schools, 206 of our schools, and Google some of those names. You're going to see some familiar names out there. Some American heroes like Rosa Parks and Barack Obama, Frederick Douglass High School, Robert Frost Elementary, Edgar Allan Poe Elementary, Robert Goddard, the father of modern rocketry. There's a middle school named for him, Eleanor Roosevelt High School. But there are a lot of less familiar names but are equally important. They are local heroes. Samuel Massey Middle School. Who was Samuel Massey? If you look him up, he was the first African-American professor at the U.S. Naval Academy. Ernest Everett Just Middle School. There's a statue of him in front. Find out about him. He was a renowned chemistry professor at Howard University. Dr. Henry Wise Junior High School and Charles Flowers High School. Both men, renowned Tuskegee Airmen. And you want to know, as you're here and living, whose shoulders you are standing on. They blaze the trail for all of us here, and students oftentimes need to know something about the school and the namesake of that particular person. I want to share before we close here today just a few more stories that you shared with me. You are the most important folks out there. Daniel Poe. Dan, how are you doing today? Actually, it's Dennis Poe. It might be a Daniel Poe. Dennis, nice to see you. Dennis, he's going to be teaching electrical at Croom Vocational High School to 11th and 12th graders. Let me quote what he wrote. He said, Prince George's County Public Schools chose me. I did not choose it. I was in electrical construction for over 25 years when in 2004, the assistant principal at Croom High School was standing in front of a human resources employee, saw my application on the desk to be a substitute teacher, and the rest is history. When I started back in the electrical trade in 1978, says Dennis, I never realized that I would be a teacher someday, able to give my gift to the future. So I taught at Croom as a long-term substitute for many years, but now I am truly blessed. I am a regular, certified Maryland State teacher. Wow, what a feeling. It's like divine intervention brought me here. I love that, Dennis. Love that story. Some of the stories you told me were a little quirky. I like that Jason Hines, who's going to be teaching at Whitehall Elementary over there in Bowie, not Bowie, over there in Bowie. Jason, nice to see you. He's teaching kindergarten through 5th grade. He comes from Kingston, Jamaica. And his claim to fame is that he trained with Usain Bolt. Yep, the one and only. Gold medalist in the Olympics, fastest human being on earth. Jason says, I don't know what that's going to do for me, but it's always good to know that I can go fast. Olivia Overdorf. Hi, Olivia, from my home state of Pennsylvania up in Lock Haven. She's going to be teaching PE at Rose Valley Elementary School. She says that her boyfriend works here in Prince George's County Public School and loves it. So since I love him, I decided I'd love teaching here too. Thank you, Cupid, for recruiting for us. And this is strange. Naomi Baumgold, she's going to teach at Templeton Elementary. She came here with Teach for America. And while she was here, she came to love Prince George's County Public Schools. It has that effect on people. Among her many and obvious academic skills, she tells us she can do something odd. Cirque du Soleil, maybe you were listening out there, she can lick her elbow. Can't you see her doing that and all the kids trying to imitate licking her elbow? That's a lesson I want to see. You know, you've been a wonderful audience here today, and we're going to tell you what's going to happen after this because you have this afternoon, the rest of the afternoon, and a couple more days of training, tutorials. But you know, as I said earlier, you are living history. This is a day, a year you'll never forget. 2020 may be the numerical rating for perfect vision, but it's a year that will go down in infamy for the problems and the plagues it has unleashed on all of us. You know, thus far, 2020 has been an annus horribilis, an horrible year. But with a pandemic that is sickening and killing an unconscionable number of our fellow citizens, civil unrest, economic collapse as jobs disappear, unrelenting heat, hurricanes, derechos, earthquakes, and just this morning, a tornado made of fire. You get the idea that Job in the Bible probably had it easier than we're having it this year. But there is good news, because we all find the opportunity in these challenges to teach like we've never taught before, inspiring students with our perseverance and our skill and our sense of humor. We could become the kind of teacher that we all grew up with, a favorite teacher that made a difference in our life. So that means that you can turn this horrible year into an annus mirabilis, a miraculous year. We can do it. Thank you for your attention. You've been a great audience, even though I can't see you, and all God's speed to you. Let me tell you about the rest of the afternoon, so you know what you have to do next. Hopefully you got yourself some lunch before we started, or you can grab a bite now. As we finish here today, today's professional learning will continue by way of Crowd Compass website. That's one word, Crowd Compass website. Should you need any further assistance when you get there to navigate that platform, or if you have questions, please select Need Support, the Need Support icon. The Need Support icon on the Crowd Compass website. It's located on the left-hand side of the menu. That's where you can find that icon. The closing video today will review the expectations of the afternoon. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, where you'll have more learning experiences and you'll get to talk to each other. You'll start to make some friends, some fast friends. I know after 46 years, I am still fast friends with people I started with back in 1974. I hope you have a wonderful career. Thank you very much.
My name is Kayla Darby. I will be teaching at Ardmore Elementary School, and I will be a third grade reading teacher this year. Woo!
Hi, I'm Catherine Heck. I am originally from West Virginia. Been in Maryland for about 4 years now. I'll be teaching at Greenbelt Middle School, 7th grade accelerated mathematics.
Prince George's County Public Schools have a lot of benefits for teachers and also students, and the county is just great. And I interned at PG County, so I'm like, why not?
So you've had some experiences that really will set you up well for what's about to happen.
Sure, yeah. So for the past 3 years, I've been working with small homeschool instruction groups where we've been doing in-person, a combination of in-person and distance, and I think that the experience through that will translate well with the distance learning program at Prince George's.
Welcome to PEEP 2020, the Professional Educator Induction Program here in Prince George's County Public Schools. The next 3 days will be packed full of information to prepare you for your amazing journey as an educator in this county. Today, you will engage in self-paced learning modules. You will need to complete the new employee orientation video, as well as the T3 technology training titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. You can access these videos from the Crowd Compass website. Tuesday, we are excited about our live sessions. You will engage in sessions covering classroom management, the framework for teaching, evaluation literacy, essentials for distance learning, and learn about the content you will be teaching. Wednesday, we will continue with more live sessions, digging deeper into content sessions, special education for general education teachers, PGCEA, and exploring more PGCPS platforms. All 3 days will give you powerful information, so get ready, tune in, take notes, and engage in preparation and learning. Looking for information? It's all here in the Crowd Compass website. If you are looking for courses, you can find them here under the All Sessions tab. Monday, August 17th, you will need to find the new employee orientation and the Understanding the PGCPS Platform modules here. The First Safe Schools module will take approximately 35 minutes. To access the new employee orientation from the Crowd Compass website, select All Sessions. Click on the session titled New Employee Orientation. Enter your username, which is your very important employee identification number, which we commonly refer to as your EIN. Then you're ready. Next, you will need to take the 90-minute technology training module titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. Again, to find this session from the Crowd Compass website, select All Sessions. Click on the session titled Understanding the PGCPS Platforms. Enter your username, which is that very important EIN or Employee Identification Number. Grab a pen and paper or something to take notes with, and voila! Happy learning! Please be advised, the new employee orientation and Understanding the PGCPS platforms are mandatory to be completed today, Monday, August 17th. Time has been allotted to complete this expectation, so be diligent to make sure you complete these mandatory trainings. Also, you will notice there are more mandatory Safe School modules. Feel free to begin these sessions. Take note of the required due dates for each module, make a plan, and set yourself up to accomplish this expectation. At this time, we would like to express our gratitude and appreciation to our many sponsors who help make this professional educator induction program, PEAK 2020, a success. Thank you, American College of Education, Care First, PGCPS Benefit Services, Verizon, Walden University, and Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. We welcome you to explore the new Educator Package brought to you by Educational System Federal Credit Union with special offers designed to help you get started in your new career. Visit them at esfcu.org/PGCPS20 to learn more. On behalf of Prince George's County Public Schools and the Office of Professional Learning and Leadership, we'd like to thank you for joining us at the Professional Educator Induction Program, PEAT 2020. Remember to engage in learning for the next 3 days, and we wish you all an amazing, impactful, and successful school year.